Good morning, everybody. It's
Hi.
Coffee with Jen and Sharon, and
Actually,
we're here on this strange day with our tea.
yeah, I've got
And
my coffee today.
I know a lot of us are probably needing the caffeine today because of all the excitement. And that's probably all we're going to say about that because I think right now everybody needs a distraction. So we're
Yes,
gonna we're
this is
gonna
my
leave.
distraction. I went for a walk today and I
Yeah,
picked up this little pine cone and I just really like it. There's something very soothing about it. So this is my new therapy pine cone. Maybe it needs a name.
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm now accepting suggestions for naming my pine cone. You
You could
can
put
put
some
them in the
little
comments.
eyes on that and a little scarf made out of felt or something. It would be very cute.
Yeah, yeah, I think it needs that. Yeah.
I actually have we're going to talk about holidays today. So, starting there, I actually have a bunch of pine cone ornaments that my sister, who's crafty and lives in Vermont, made for us. So,
Oh,
they're real pine cones that
nice.
she strung up with uh, thread and a little tasteful bow and a little tasteful amount of glitter, and that looks like snow. And they're very festive.
Tasteful. Tasteful. That
Yes.
does not compute.
So, we're talking about holidays because they're coming soon. Like Thanksgiving's in a couple weeks, and
It's like tomorrow.
what
Basically tomorrow. It's basically tomorrow.
in in uh in mom world, it's
Yeah.
tomorrow because no matter what else is going on in the world, somebody has to plan these things, and that
Yeah.
somebody is usually us.
Yeah.
Not, I bet there's some dads out there doing it too, but
Mhm.
from our perspective, it feels like it's the moms, at least in our houses. So Thanksgiving, the winter holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you might celebrate, it's all coming, and that takes a lot of planning. And we're just trying to think through how that's going to be different and the same this year. And Jen was thinking about, I think, streamlining a little bit, right? About some traditions you might be letting go. Can you tell
Yeah.
us about one of those?
Well, yeah, it seemed to me like, grasping for silver linings here as always, but if things have to be different this year, and they probably do, like in our family, Thanksgiving is a really big holiday. And we've typically over the years we've had almost 30 people at our Thanksgiving celebrations, which were hosted at my mom's house, but we all contributed. And we were kind of getting ready to downsize those anyway. Then the pandemic came along, and now we really have to downsize. So it might be just like us and our kids and maybe my parents at the table. And my kids don't eat meat, and my parents have very small appetites. So I was thinking, maybe this is the year. This is true confessions. I don't really like turkey that much. I like
There's no shame
everything
in
else
that.
that goes with it, but like a little tiny bit of turkey is really enough for me. I load up the plate with all the other stuff. So maybe this is the year we don't have to make turkey, or I don't have to make a big turkey. And it's like a sign, because I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and they have their fearless flyer. I don't know if you have a Trader Joe's near you and you like to shop there. They always have these fun fearless flyers that are really well written. And in this one, the suggestion is for a pastry wrapped
You have me already.
turkey and stuffing. It's all
Ooh.
in one thing. It's like a log of goodness.
It's
And I
like
thought,
a hot pocket, but
yeah, like a fancy hot pocket. And I thought maybe this is the year we could get away with doing something just a little bit less than the traditional turkey and 8,000 side dishes. So
that
I don't
sounds
know how that's going to go over, but I'm going to ponder it and maybe present it to my family. So that's one tradition that I am personally willing to streamline. How about you, Sharon? I think you have
well.
something on your mind that you would not mind maybe
I do.
moving.
We'll have some tweaks for Thanksgiving as well, and I could get on board with your turkey pockets or whatever they are.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound very fancy, does it? But
no,
because
but it
I
sounds
could,
good though.
as far as I'm concerned, stuffing with cranberry sauce heaped all over it is a main course. That could be a meal for me.
Amen.
Those are my favorite things. But
Hmm.
in our family, we usually have Thanksgiving with my husband's family. Not always, but often. And he has a very large, tight knit family. And the funny thing is that there's all these rules. There are rules about what is on the menu. It's exactly the same every year.
Hmm.
There are three kinds of pie, and they are
Mhm.
have to be the right kind of pie. And you'll get assigned a pie by the generation above you, like the aunties will all tell the younger families, which I guess I still am, but I must be graduating out of that soon. But they tell us what kind of pie to make, and you have to make. So there are rules like if you're making the lemon pie, it's not a lemon meringue pie.
Oh,
Don't show up with meringue on that pie.
who
It has
knew?
to be lemon. So this is very silly. We will miss seeing the family because they're fun and loving and
Mhm.
wonderful. But I guess we'll make whatever pie we want, and we might even have meringue on our lemon pie. So,
Crazy. Maybe you can even have like a chocolate silk pie or something that's just totally not on the whatever your
well,
traditional menu is.
chocolate pie is in fact
Is
on
that
the
on your
menu.
menu? Okay. See,
You know
that's not
what's
on art. I come from the crazy tight knit large family, and we had the rules, and it was always pumpkin pie, pecan pie, and apple pie.
well,
And I
pumpkin
still
pie.
want all the pies, but I would like more pies, and I would like to have the pies before dinner because I'm always too full to have the pie by the time you get to dinner. So that's another rule I'm looking to change.
Wait a minute. So here's an idea. You have a meal that's just pie and cheese. Or like, you know
Yeah,
how some places, I think it might be British, they serve the apple pie with a
yeah,
slice of cheese.
yeah. I could get behind that.
Again, that's a meal. You
Right.
could skip the pies at dinner time
All about it.
and have like a brunch pie fest.
Hmm.
Chocolate wouldn't go as well then, but you know, in
You
2020,
can
anything
save the
goes.
chocolate pie for another meal and have it after. I mean, it's 3 or 4 days of eating, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
don't
think
have to have all the pies all at once. You could spread them out.
I would love to hear other people's ideas too for what's different. I want the pie opinions and I want to hear what you're doing because it's going to be
Yeah.
weird having those Thanksgiving days with, just your
Yeah.
tiny, in our case, it's just going to be our family, I think.
Right.
No
I think a lot
travel.
of people are kind of, facing the fact that they're going to be doing things differently this year. This might be a good time for us to mention that we actually have a really great free virtual summit coming up very soon, November 10th through the 12th. And it is all about how to enjoy the holidays this year, even though they will need to be a little bit different. So we
Yeah.
have really fantastic experts who have already given some of us great insight and tips and advice, and it's going to be uplifting. And if you're not feeling in the holiday spirit one bit, we feel you, and we're hoping to help you along a little bit. So
We'll be
you
there.
can join us. Yeah.
And I've seen a sneak peek of some of it because
Mhm.
we get to help prepare some of it, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's
Yeah,
going to be fun and
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
be
be
great.
so helpful. And I think by next week we're going to be like, you know, when this is happening next week already, we're gonna be a mile away from election day and a block
And your,
away from the holidays.
and your
So
kids are already probably like mine asking, what are we doing about the
yeah,
holidays? Are we going to go visit Grammy and Grandpa? Is it safe to do that? And those are all the kinds of questions we've asked some of our experts for input on that. So I'm sure you have those questions too. And looking a little farther down the road, Sharon, I know there was one holiday tradition around Christmas time that you were hoping
oh.
this might be the year to let go. You want to talk about that one?
Okay, so Jen's kids are in college, so she probably skipped right over this.
Yes, we
But
did.
my youngest is in 5th grade, so I almost missed the Elf on the Shelf. I mean, I got away without it for the older two who were in 7th grade and 9th grade, and we tried to avoid it. And then we heard, everybody, this friend, that friend, the elf comes to their house. Why doesn't the elf come to our house? Um, so a
Dang it.
couple years ago, the elf had to come as an actual Christmas present because it was just, we couldn't get away with it any longer. And it was a delight to this child and is a delight. And I'm thinking though, I think the jig is up on all the you know what I'm talking about,
Oh,
parents. Um,
mhm.
but I I think it will still be enjoyed this year, but not have to be, you know, orchestrated by us and do all the remembering and the creativity. I mean,
Maybe your kids are old enough now that they could be the perpetrators of the elf on the shelf if they want to own it. Like
well,
maybe they can surprise each other with it, or the older ones could do it with the younger one, or maybe there's some way you can delegate.
I have to admit the older ones have helped in the past. So that was
Mhm.
really nice.
Yeah.
And I say it like this is just something I want to dump because it is kind of bittersweet because when the magic ends for your last one,
Yeah.
it's a new phase.
It's just like the tooth fairy and all the other stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, you kind of feel a little, like, oh my gosh, I have to remember to do this, and
Yeah.
it's silly. And then when you're done, you do sort of have that pang a
Well,
little bit.
it's immediately charming. Why do you think all the grandmas in the grocery store are telling you to enjoy every minute? As soon as it ends, you think, "Oh, that was wonderful."
Right.
But
Some of the things improve upon with a little bit of history, don't they? It's interesting how that happens.
yeah.
I last year I gave up a holiday tradition that
Oh yeah.
my husband started many, many years ago. He went and he bought those animatronic reindeer that you can, stake down in your yard, and you have to plug them in, and then they light up and their heads move. And over the years, they stopped working and the lights all burned out. And so I had to wrap cords around them.
Hmm.
There's no way to restring them. So they looked super bojangity. And I was all ready to give it up. And then my next door neighbor, an older gentleman, he told me how much he looked forward to seeing them. And I was like, oh my Lord, I cannot get away from these. So I put them out one more year. He's no longer living there. So I think I get a pass this year. I think this is the year we don't have to put out the reindeer. Actually, I think that they may have gone to live on a farm upstate.
Oh.
They're having a great time.
I had thought about I actually before this year, we kind of simplified our outdoor decor. I used to be out there when the snow was already flying in early December or even late November,
Yeah.
like trying to get the lights up on the hooks. And then I was like, you know what? I think just the simple lights, the lit up trees next to our front doors. And I love the candles in the windows.
I like that too, although it's hard to make them stay. Like I have to somehow wrap some cord around it to hook them to the window. You and I will have to talk offline about how to handle
I
this.
have all kinds of ways. And if people want to know too, ask
I
me.
want your tips and tricks.
I'll tell you all my tricks.
All right. So if we're going to have at least one session during the summit when Sharon and I are going to talk about some different kinds of activities that you could think about doing with your family over the holidays.
Yeah.
So maybe one of those activities will be you can decorate together, and Sharon will share her tips or how to get those candles to stick.
Well, we're gonna need a lot of fun activities because we're
It'll
just
be
gonna have
longer.
so much together time. So
Yep, absolutely. So okay, so once again, we'll remind you that the summit that we're talking about is free, and it's next week. So you need to sign up now so that you can make sure that you get on board. But you don't have to watch the sessions in real time. You can watch them on your own. They're recorded sessions, except for a few live things that we'll tell you about during the summit. But it's the kind of thing you're going to want to just set aside 1 hour a day on each of those 3 days with a nice cup of cocoa. Shoo the kids out to go rake the leaves and tell them that you're doing research on their Christmas and Hanukkah presents. I think that's
because you are in part.
Because you will be, because we're going to talk about that too. So gift ideas. So lots of good stuff to come, and hang in there, everybody. We're going to get through this together.
Sounds great.
All right.
Right.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you at the holiday summit.
Yes.
All
Sign
right.
up today.